was my week, and I picked Barbie because we were always asked.
Am I making you nervous?
Let me start that.
I'm so sorry.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world.
Welcome to Crosscut, a movie review / trivia challenge show. I'm your co-host, Josh.
And I'm your other co-host, Chris.
And I'm Julie.
Welcome, Julie, our first official guest star of the show. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Awesome. Glad to have you. So, today we are taking a look at Barbie, an adventure comedy fantasy about the legendary doll who suffers a crisis that leads her to question her world and her existence. Before we get in the movie, we do want to issue a spoiler warning, as this episode will contain spoilers. So if you have not seen Barbie, we highly recommend pausing this episode, getting yourself a big old popcorn and a tasty beverage. For everyone else, let's begin.
So this week, it was my week, and I chose Barbie. We're always going to be doing Oppenheimer and Barbie, so might as well just do both, right? So we just got out of the theater. We were talking about more of the movie, and I was like, okay, let's save it for Crosscut. Mm-hmm. And my initial thoughts were that I loved it. It was funny, and some of the things that they showed, I was like, oh, I remember this from when watching the little cartoon movies or the dolls that our daughter has, So it's like it's there, and
we had a very different experience, you and I then.
Well, I never played with Barbies, of course, but
I did, and so that's why watching like all these little girls playing with their Barbies, and in the way that they did it, everything that they said in the movie is exactly how you would imagine a little girl. Like I even see Rosie doing it now, where I'm like, oh, just
yeah.
I used to do that as a kid too with my own Barbies, especially when they were saying how I used to like mess up my Barbies on purpose. That was so accurate.
That's when the weird Barbie. That was funny. It's like, oh yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, the messed up hair, the drawing on them. Mm-hmm. Like even Rosie's done that to her Barbies.
She hasn't gotten there yet.
She did to her American Doll, actually. So not Barbie, technically.
Oh, no, but I mean, like, we all messed up our Barbies. Like, how you, in the one scene where it showed just exactly how she messed it up with the cutting and the matches. And my mom told me I used to shove my Barbies in the microwave.
Just to warm them up.
It was very relatable, at least on my side. I saw it from both ends, because you have the mother and the daughter in the movie. So I related to that now as an adult.
That was actually my favorite part of the movie, was that relationship. I thought they could have focused maybe even more on that. I thought that was kind of the strong point of the movie.
Okay.
I think so too.
Yeah, you do see it more develop. I mean, not as much, yes, but you see it.
You see them reconnecting, which is what a lot of parents have a hard time dealing with when their kids get older. Like, how do you find a way to connect with them? Mm-hmm. Especially nowadays everything is a big distraction, and so it was nice. It was nice. I thought it was cute how the two of them ended up working together in the end. Bonding over Barbie, which is what a lot of mothers and daughters tend to do, is they bond over. Little girls know of Barbie because of their mothers nowadays.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
It's a good thing we have you on here because, I mean, when I watched the movie, I had a great time. I was laughing, but obviously I could not relate to this movie one bit as far as playing with Barbie growing up. I think,
really, the 10 bits didn't do it for you?
Well, I think what's funny is that growing up, I think as boys, you wouldn't, that would be the insult when you were like a little kid in like elementary school. If you wanted to like make fun of another boy, you'd be like, oh, you play with Barbies, you play with dolls, things like that. Right. So that's like, from what I remember as a kid, obviously I wasn't playing with Barbies. I'm trying to think, I mean, my sister, I don't even know if she was playing with Barbies at her age. I'm trying to think if she even had them. She definitely had like dolls and stuff like that. So I'm trying to think like if they were still as popular as they were in the 90s.
It might have been the Bratz dolls. And there's like a whole Bratz versus Barbie thing that goes on in that world too. So it's kind of funny. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a topic of a different
I also loved how there were some throwbacks of other movies, like when they were playing volleyball scenes, like it's Top Gun, right? Or like Dunkirk on the beach. I didn't expect that part, but it was there.
I was really surprised with Ryan Gosling in this movie because I was not I heard first of his casting, I wasn't sure if whether or not he would play a good Ken because I don't think of him as a Ken, overall. Like honestly, I thought maybe if they were to cast somebody, it would have been someone like Channing Tatum or Chris Hemsworth, along those lines, right?
Okay.
And but he did a really, really good job.
I thought he stole the show. I think
he did too. No, like don't get me wrong, Margot Robbie did a really good. She has range for days, but Ryan Gosling just like really, you felt it. You felt his pain. You feel sorry for him.
You do.
But also every time he's on screen, I'm just entertained, I felt like. I think one of the best parts of the movie is when he starts singing that song and then they're all singing it on the beach. I mean, I was just laughing so hard from that. I was listening to some Matchbox 20 before this, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, God, no. It's just too good. Like, when they go to the real world and he goes to, like, the business area and he starts like, oh, wait, they respect you. It was funny seeing his face like, wait a minute, I can be somebody?
In this world.
Well, in the real world.
In this world.
Yeah.
No one was...
What I'm wearing is what I wore to the theater.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
This was it. This is, straight from the theater, straight to this.
And there were some other people dressed in pink or in like blue Ken kind of thing too. I saw that.
Right.
There was a lot of Barbie, like Barbie T-shirts.
Yeah.
People dressed up and not in the not how you would not like a cosplay. Right. It was very subtle Barbie core.
Yeah. Except that one person that wasn't waiting in line. She had like a whole outfit Barbie. Like all pink. I think she was blonde. I'm not sure. But she has like white boots on. You remember her?
No.
I even pointed to Rosie like, look, she didn't dress like Barbie. Because she looked like a Barbie.
I didn't see her. That would have been nice though. I did see somebody though that was in like a very baby pink outfit with white boots. It might have been her. But that was as we were leaving the theater. But it was nice to see a lot of the Barbie pink out and about today.
So I got to ask, because I kind of want to see this movie again, because I had a good time. If I were to dress up like this, do you think I would look all right if I go to the theater like this?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
No, you'll be okay. You'll be fine. What? You could wear that every day.
I could, couldn't I? I don't really wear it, but...
It looks good.
Pink is your color.
It looks good, though.
Thank you.
The
sun shining in on me and it's just glowing.
You're a summer.
That is one of the things I really enjoyed about this movie too. Just the visual aesthetics, especially like the costumes. The costumes did look great. I felt like, again, didn't play with Barbies growing up, but I felt like if somebody did, they'd appreciate how it seems like they did a good job with like making all the Barbie clothes from the doll.
Even the sets.
Real life.
Even the sets were like on point.
So a lot of what you see in the film from the Barbie cast is actually particularly Ryan and Barbie or Margot. The designer was working with a vintage clothing company. And so a lot of the clothes that you see, it's just, that they used a lot to vintage clothing.
Okay.
Which it makes sense because of all the errors that they had to,
Right. This movie seemed like it did a very big deep dive into the history of Barbie too, with all the different types of Barbies there were.
She has a very deep history with fashion. A lot of the stuff that was in trend, during its time, Barbie wore it. So it's very iconic.
Yeah, and even just the other Barbies too. You had like President Barbie and Author Barbie. Yeah.
Yeah. Although I wasn't a fan of Dua Lipa in this one. She played.
I didn't realize she was the mermaid until like afterwards.
Oh.
She played Mermaid Barbie, and so I was expecting more. I wasn't expecting much dialogue from her.
More performance
honestly.
kind of thing.
to me, it was like it's Dua Lipa pretending to be a mermaid, and it wasn't like, oh, this is Mermaid Barbie.
It's okay. We know the true mermaid in that movie is John Cena. So.
John Cena.
He was in the movie.
You can't see me. My time is now. You can't see me, dog.
He was the other mermaid. Yeah,
Okay.
right. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah. All right. Should we take a look at IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes?
Yes. I think for IMDb, I'm going to go with a 7.9.
I'm gonna go higher.
What?
I'm just gonna say 8 flat.
Okay.
Both a little high. It's a 7.7 right now, which is still pretty darn good.
If this is Price is Right rules, damn it.
It's got an 80 Metascore.
It's got to go up. I think it's going to go up.
It could. It's got an 80 Metascore. That's really good. And then Rotten Tomatoes, it's 90% for both. That's really good.
Oh,
so
wow.
This movie's been very well received. I think this movie's going to be dominating the box office for the next month plus, honestly, because we're coming into August. There's nothing really big coming out after this. I just think it's going to be. We already had a huge box office this weekend. So I think it's going to keep going.
And then you have Haunted Mansion next week.
Haunted Mansion next week, yes. And after that is Ninja Turtles.
Getting ready for Halloween.
Yeah. All right, you guys ready for pop quiz Hotshot?
Gotcha.
Maybe. I was already trying to get into his head just to like psych him out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like Chris didn't spend as much time on his questions as you did, so this will be interesting.
Oh, I sure didn't. He was like trying to, as soon as we left the theater, I'm asking him, are there any after credits? He's on his phone. And I'm thinking like, oh, he's researching if there's after credits. I asked him three times, is there after credits? And he's like, oh no, I'm just doing the questions.
Pop quiz Hotshot. 2 guys and a gal watch a movie. Who remembers most about it? Well, let's find out. This is how it works. Julie and Chris will be going back and forth asking the multiple choice questions that they each came up with. Whoever has the most points at the end wins.
It's actually
me.
For our audience members, feel free to play along. Who knows? You might do better than Chris. Comment and let us know how you did. Now that we've established the rules, let's play.
Yes.
Is it ladies first?
I believe we're going to do ladies first.
Okay.
Julie, you have the, this is round 1. You have the first question to ask Chris.
Oh, no pressure. Okay. So Will Ferrell mentioned that Ruth haunts a floor at corporate. Which floor did he say it was? Was it the 70th floor, the 13th, the 17th, or the 7th floor?
The 17th.
Yeah. See, that's what I was worried about. I had a feeling that you would be paying more attention to Will Ferrell in this movie. So I tried to stay away from it. I'm glad we got that question out of the way.
All right, that's just an easy one. That's always round 1 is the easiest one. All right, 1 point for Chris. Chris, it's your question for Julie.
Okay, in the beginning, the very beginning of the movie, how many girls are there playing with the baby dolls? Is it A, 4, B, 5, C, 6, or D, 7?
5 was
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
No, because I kept thinking of like, they're all in line. I'm like, it was 5 girls.
There's a shot where there's all,
Yeah, okay. Haha.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
All right, after round 1, we are currently tied 1-1. We're going to move on to round 2. Julie, you have the next question for Chris.
So what is the name of the sandal that Barbie, that weird Barbie wants stereotype Barbie to choose? So is it the Birkenflop, the Birkin sandal, the Birkenstock, or the Birkin flips?
Birkin sandal?
No.
Ooh,
Never mentioned it in the movie.
Because she didn't mention it, but the scene zooms in on what type of sandal it is, and right on the side says Birkenstock.
Good one. Good one. He always gets tripped up with those where you just see it briefly. That's a good one. Yeah. All right.
They do it on purpose because they're Birkenstocks. It's a famous. It's a really. It's an expensive sandal.
All right.
All right, Chris, it is your question for Julie.
What is on Ken's necklace? Is it A, his name in silver, B, horse with a horseshoe, C, a cowboy hat in gold, D, a horse with a cowboy hat?
So that was one of my questions. And
Okay.
it's the horse and a horseshoe.
Correct.
Correctamundo.
I was thinking, wait, his necklace. I was thinking, but for some reason I thought his belt buckle because that said Ken, right?
Right,
Yep.
that's kind of like a metallic kind of
right. Okay,
word.
nice. All right, cool. Well, after 2 rounds, Julie's currently winning 3-1. We're gonna move on to round 3. Julie, you have the next question.
This should be my game, period.
We'll
for
see.
this
We'll
for
see.
this
We'll see.
crosscut episode, it should be me.
We'll see.
So how many wristwatches does Ken wear when he's showing them off to Barbie? Is it 4, 2, 3, or 5?
3?
Yes.
Yeah, 2 on his right, 1 on his left.
Uh-huh.
Aha.
All right.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure I'm going to go with the next question. Okay.
All right. Chris, you have the next question for Julie.
All right. Where does Barbie live? Is it A, Barbie Lane, B, Barbie Street, C, Barbie Way, D, Barbie Road?
Barbie Way.
Correct.
Correctamundo.
I was in the same mindset. I was like, what? Barbie Way sounds right.
Because I feel
Right.
like I saw it
Yep.
where I read it. I did read it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you see it in one shot, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. After 3 rounds, Julie's currently winning 6-4. Moving on to round number 4. And Julie, you have the next question.
Is this the final question?
Second to last.
Second to last.
Second to last.
No, it's Mom.
Hmm.
What is the name of pregnant Barbie? Is it Barbie, Peggy, Midge, or Barb?
Midge.
Yes.
Oh.
Correctamundo.
Woo! Ay, 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 ay.
All right, Chris. Your question for Julie.
Okay. Why were Ken and Barbie first arrested for? Was it A, stealing clothes, B, eating a meal without paying, C, punching someone, or D, jaywalking?
Punching someone.
Correct.
Correctamundo.
All right. Going into the final round, Julie is winning 10-8. Now, Julie, what this means is that if you can stump Chris on this question, you win.
Yes.
No.
But if you get it right, then what?
Then
I
you
still
have to answer the final question for him to win.
Uh-huh. And if I get it wrong, then what?
Then he wins.
Oh, then you win? Oh,
Yep.
shit. No. What was worded on Ken's hoodie? This is a Kenaissance. I am Ken. Ken is me. I'm Knuff.
I'm Knuff.
Correctamundo.
Ah.
Okay. So,
Hey.
final question for Julie. Julie, if you get this right, you win. If you do not
Great.
answer correctly, Chris wins. No pressure.
Oh, no.
We'll put it at this one.
Okay.
What is the brand of Barbie's purse when she pretends to be Ken's girlfriend? at the-
Chanel. Don't even. I already knew that one.
I even put the options as Louis Vuitton, Chanel,
No,
Prada, and Barbie.
Chanel. Because I
Chanel.
remember I looked right at you with that death stare of like, I need this purse. But I could even go deeper. Her necklace was Chanel. The earrings were
Okay,
Chanel. She was head to toe
okay.
Chanel.
All right.
And ladies
That
and
was-
gentlemen, with a perfect score of 15, answering all 5 questions correctly, Julie is this week's winner of Pop Quiz Hotshot.
Woo!
Good job, Julie.
Yes.
Come
Look,
on,
you
Barbie.
disappeared from the shot.
Oh, God.
That
Chris
is
has been
funny.
disappearing
Come
like
on,
a ghost
Barbie. Let's
over
go
here.
party.
All right, I'm taking over now. This now.
Chris, you got to earn your spot back. You're in Pop Quiz Hotshot timeout jail for right now.
No.
This was exciting. I was almost kind of wanting to go to
sudden death?
To sudden death.
Sudden
Yeah,
death. Ooh.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
that would have been an interesting movie actor. Mm.
Did you have any remaining questions you wanted to cover? I know you said you had 10.
No.
So.
No,
I have a few.
You have a few more?
Yeah.
I want to know what you had because I only
Okay.
had 6.
Well, who is the inspiration for Ken's new look? Was it A, Rocky Balboa, B, Sylvester Stallone, see John Cena, the Apollo Creed.
It's kind of a trick question because, well, wasn't it Rocky? Because you see
It
Stallone, but you say
But
Stallone. That's like the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing he sees is Rocky, not Sylvester Stallone. Just
That's
the
not
character.
the first thing he sees. That's also not the first thing he sees. There was like a montage of different men, and it ends with Rocky.
Okay. Never mind then.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't ask that one. All right, I got a question that I just came up with. This might be an easy one. I'm not going to give options. When they're bringing the Barbies back from their mind wash or whatever it was called, one of them they have to pull away from a Ken who's explaining a movie they're watching. What was the movie?
The
The Godfather.
Godfather, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, who could say it the fastest now?
If you want to support the show, you can do so by hitting that like button for this episode. You can also subscribe to the channel and stay up to date for future episodes.
Thank you everyone for listening or watching.
Thank me too.
No.
Thank you for joining
you,
us,
everyone.
Julie. It's been a pleasure. I'm glad once again Chris cannot win a game. That's always nice.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. This
course.
was fun.
It was a lot of
Alright.
fun.
So, cut, print, moving on.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
They didn't play it.
They didn't.
Look at you.